In this video, we're going to look at the objective scoring for the Demi Score program. We go to the main startup menu and choose a competition and go to the objective events. In this module, the first thing you see is the screen where we compile all of the scores. This will show a list of the students who are competing, and it will show their actual scores after we've gotten the data from the score sheets. Okay. Next, we'll look at the forms page. This is actually where you'll begin. When you start a tournament, you select your form and print it out. The same form can be used for all of the objective events. If we blow this up, you can see that here the form looks something like this when it's blown up. It asks for the student name and a student ID number and the subject, and then it prompts you to bubble in the event name and bubble in the ID number, and then you simply put down the scores for all of the questions on the test, probably 50 or 35 on a math or whatever they have. You can use the same form for all of your subjects. So this simply gets printed out. I printed this one to a PDF. You can print that on any printer, duplicate it, and hand it out to the students. You do not have to buy special forms. You use your own letter-sized copy paper for the inputting of the scores. You can actually put the forms, you can actually fill them out in pen, assuming you won't make any mistakes. Students make mistakes, and so we can fix a lot of these things after the students are done. If they make a mistake on their ID, we can easily fix it, and you'll see that later on. And next, we select the forms that we want to use for each event. Here I've chosen to use a standard, which is simply 50 questions, and then the math has a different form. You wouldn't have to use a different form. You could use the 50 question one for math, but I've chosen to use a 35 question form for the math. Okay, so it makes it's a little different. Here's the math form. It's just shorter. Here's the standard form. It goes a little longer. Next, if you happen to be using Demi Deck tests, you can go here, and for example, on the music form, I would go to the Demi Deck tests and click that link, and here we see that we can pull in any of the stuff that we've imported from the Demi Deck download site. I can use, for example, if I'm doing the music test, I can do the music comprehensive exams, and let's say I decided to use number 4 for my key. What I would do then is click on 4, and it puts the key in here, and then I would just simply go over to here and import it, and it would import the key over here. So if you're doing Demi Deck tests, you don't have to type in the keys, you can import them quickly. Let's look now at how we scan in our student answer sheets and get them into the database so we can score them. Imagine that you've just come back from the testing room with a handful of scan sheets. Your scan sheets would look something like this one. This is a filled out scan sheet. You need to scan these into a graphics file, and the Demi Scorer program will then analyze the image of that graphics file. Luckily, most scanning programs will do exactly that for us. For example, when we do contests in the World Scholars Cup, we'll carry around a small scanner, either from Fujitsu, like this one, or there's a number of very similar models on the market that are very portable. You can close this up into a small rectangular cube there, and the lid closes, and you can put it in a backpack. I can carry all the material I need to run a tournament in my backpack. A laptop and a scanner like this. Very simple, compact scanning system. I don't have to carry any answer sheets along with me. We can print those on site. So we print the answer sheets and run them through a scanner like this, or if you don't want to go to the expense of buying one of those, you can train yourself on your local standard photocopier. Many of the newest computerized photocopiers, and there's hardly any other kind out there now, You can plug in a zip drive, or if they're connected to the internet, you can actually just send the images to a specific mapped drive on your local network. One or the other is likely to be doable, and you'll just have to train yourself on how to do that. Most of these machines will do the exact kind of scanning you need. When you're done, that stack of papers in your hand will look something like this. You'll just have a folder. This is a folder of a number of answer sheets. These are actually computer generated, but they are actually quite realistic, so these act as a good model for what you would be doing. I'm going to simply select all of them and copy. We'll copy those into a folder. Oops, what happened there? Select all. No, can't do that. Select all. Now copy. There we go. And I go into the Scan tab of the Objectives page and just right-click on this window and paste. And we have transferred all of the answer sheets into the folder where we can analyze them. Okay. Next, we'll just right-click again and select all of these, and we will scan them. Actually, we're not scanning them. They have already been scanned. What we're actually doing here is analyzing the image files and extracting the student answers. For example, the first line here in this table has student number 2832. It's the art test for that student. That student left one blank and had one answer that had two answers. These are probably side by side, I'm guessing. Here are the answers that the student put down. In fact, right there, the dash and the question mark are the blank and the double. And this is when that scan was done. If you look down at the bottom, you can follow this along. This is now doing document 32 out of 89. 45 seconds have gone by, and we've scanned 37 papers. Average speed is about 1.3 seconds per paper, and this whole job is going to be done in about 2 minutes. That's for 90 students. Of course, that would be on top of the scanning itself, which would take 5 to 8 minutes to run all these through a scanner. The total time to do a 90-question test is about, for one person to do a 90-question test, is 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so it goes quite quickly when you get to tournament time. We're going to go ahead and let this finish up. I have prompting on down here, and we have a bad ID. You can see this bad ID has two bubbles in line 3 and none in line 2. So I'll just read the number 2133 off of this line here and type it in. And that's how we can keep track of bad IDs if they come up. The same sort of prompting would be done if they had a bad subject up here. Okay, we have about 20 seconds left. So between the error messages and some of the built-in tools that are provided, it's pretty easy to find the mistakes that the students inevitably make as they fill these sheets out. Okay, so I think we're all done scanning. We have 88 scanned images here, and let's go ahead and check these for duplicates. Duplicate occurs when two students end up with the same ID number. So it'll try to record the scores in the same place, and so we have a check for that. And so I'm going to hit the dupe button, and it checks here. Here's two people with 2033 for their ID number, and if I look, and when I click on this row, it brings up the image of their answer sheet here, and now we can just type in the correct one. Let's keep hitting the dupes until we don't find any more. This one was 2622. This one was 2314. This one was 2413. This one was 2423. The next one is 2211. One of the two duplicated answer sheets will have the wrong number on it, and so then you can type it in or do some research and find out which student made the mistake. Alright, I think we're all done. Now we are going to move them over to the compile page. Now here's the place that the scores are going to go. What this is going to do is to just tally up the number of correct answers and put those over on the compile sheet. So I highlight this and hit the compile button, and now when I go over I have them here. Okay. Now there's one more step. We need to convert these 0 to 50 scores, and we need to scale them up to the required number. To do that, we just hit the save button, and now over here in the scores page we have the 0 to 1,000 scores at typical academic decathlon numbers, and we can look at the top and see who the medalists were. Okay, so that is of course there's 3 divisions here. There's the honors, there's the scholastic, and there's the varsity. So we have all of the medal winners shown, and that's how we get the scores from the objective tests into the computer for scoring. Okay, so that's how you do it with Demi Score. Thanks for watching.